Hello everyone. In the today's session we will see about cookies and session management testing. So this is again also part of functional testing. So far we have seen about object properties testing, error scenarios handling testing, database testing we will see in coming session. In the previous session we have also seen what is link functionality testing and what to test exactly in links testing. Today we will focus on cookies and session management related testing. So what exactly is cookie? Cookies are small pieces of data stored on your computer by websites you visit. They help websites to remember the information about your visit and making the experience more personalized and convenient. So in client and server architecture we have seen end user will act on the browser. So we use web browser for opening the websites. So a web browser is basically a client which communicates with server. So whenever the end user websites visit, so whenever the end user performs any actions on the website or simply visits the website, cookies are basically the files in which information is stored. So when we visit a website sends a small file called a cookie to your computer. So on the computer browser, a website sends a small file that is called as a cookie and that stores some information. It is on the browser level. So the browser stores some information for that specific website inside the cookies. So the cookie stores the information about your visit like your login status, preferences or any items in your shopping cart, etc. So if you take a simple real-time example, so sometimes we visit e-commerce websites like various amazon.com, flipkart.com, snapdeal.com, like that any e-commerce website we visit and we search for certain items and then we close that URL or we can close that application. And whenever next time you again visit that same website, it will show you the items which are related to your previous search. Now how that browser or that website knows that what items you have searched previously? So that is via cookies. So cookie stores the information about the visit. It can also store your login, username and passwords as well. So whenever we click on some, let's say Gmail or any other website where login is required, sometimes they show one checkbox where we have to click on remember username and password. So if you click that checkbox, whenever you visit the same website next time, it will not ask you to again enter those username and passwords. So those are already stored inside the cookies. So that is the benefit of cookies. So whenever we visit the next website again, so that the same website whenever we visit again, your browser sends the cookie back to the website and it allows the browser to remember you and your preferences. Another example will be, let's say you have selected the dark mode on any website. So whenever we visit that website again, it is always in dark mode. So how it is in dark mode? Because in cookies that preferences is stored. Another example will be, imagine whenever we visit any online store and we have added items in your shopping cart. If you close your browser and return later, cookies will still help to store and remember what we have added in the cart. So we don't have to again search the product, again add the same product in the cart. It will automatically added in the cart because that was stored in the cookie. So that information was stored in the cookie. So that is the benefit of cookies. And that is what the cookies are used. So there are normally three type of cookies. What are the different type of cookies? Persistent cookies, session cookies and third-party cookies. So persistent cookies are stored for extended period of time. Third-party cookies are mainly used to collect data on people's online activity. Session cookies are deleted instantly after closing a browser. So we will see in detail what exactly these three type of cookies are. First one is session cookies. Now what are the session cookies? So let's take a simple example. When we log into any online banking website, a session cookie keeps you logged in as you navigate between the pages. So once you log into any banking website, we can navigate to all the different web pages of that banking website. For example, account details, checking account balance, transferring the money, etc. So while navigating all these pages, it will not ask you username and password again and again because it is already stored inside the cookies, inside the session cookies. However, these session cookies are temporary and they will be deleted as soon as we close the browser. So you can simply close the browser. So you can open the browser, you can log into your banking website by entering the correct username and password, perform some activities on that website and close the browser. And if you again open the browser and again go to that website, it will again ask you for username and password because those cookies are temporary. So these session cookies are temporary and they are deleted whenever we close the browser. For the security purpose, these are temporary and they are deleted whenever we close the browser. So those are known as session cookies. Second type of cookie will be persistent cookies. Persistent cookies are basically used in the scenarios where, let's say, whenever we visit any website, we put our username or email name and password, and there we can see a one checkbox called as remember me. So whenever you select this remember me checkbox, persistent cookie will keep you logged in even after you close your browser. So if you visit the website, you enter this email password. If you click on this remember me, then even after you close the browser, the cookie will not be deleted. So that information will remain there. So whenever you again enter the same website, it will not ask you to enter email ID and password again. It will automatically make you log in to that website. And that is because of persistent cookies. Because you have already given remember me as a consent, right? So you have selected this remember me checkbox. That means these credentials will be stored inside that persistent cookies. Even if you close the browser and if you open the browser again hit that website, it will automatically log you in. So these cookies, persistent cookies, will stay on your computer until they expire or you manually delete them. So they will have some expiry period. So after that they will be expired or we can manually delete those cookies as well. Only then those persistent cookies will be cleared from the system. Third party cookies. Another type of cookies are third party cookies. So we have normally seen whenever we visit some news website, we frequently see the ads from other websites. Now those ads use third party cookies to track your browsing habits. And whatever you browse, whatever you search, according to that, ads of such products are displayed on their news website. So basically those are because of third party cookies. And these cookies are set by a domain which is different from the one you are visiting, because you can be visiting, let's say, xyz.com. On that xyz.com you can see the advertisement of some abc.com as well, because it is handled by third party cookies. So they might have added the third party cookies which tracks your online activities whenever you visit that xyz.com. So these are basically set by a domain which are different from the one which we are actually visiting. And these are usually they are used by advertisers to advertise their products on the websites. These are basically known as third party cookies. So we have seen three type of cookies: session cookies, persistent cookies, and third party cookies. And what are the five main uses of computer cookies? We have also seen what are the cookies and why they are used. Normally they are used by customizing the advertisements by third-party cookies. They can also help the end user by remembering the login username and passwords, so that every time user don't have to type all the username and passwords again and again. They can also use to recognize the devices, to track the websites or any internet activity of the user, streamline online shopping experiences as well. For example, if you add the products in your cart and you close the website, whenever you log in to that website again, it can still show you the products which we have added into the cart. That will basically improve the experience of online shopping. So such are the areas where cookies are used. And what are the functional testing related points around these cookies that every tester should know? Or whenever you are testing the cookies related functional testing, what are the things we should ensure? So as a tester, we should ensure that cookies are created correctly whenever required. For example, after login, adding any items to a cart. So if it is given in the requirement that cookies should be created correctly on certain actions. For example, after login, adding items to a cart, etc. And also we have to verify that cookies are stored in the browser. Cookies can expire, so we have to verify that cookies expire at the correct time or date. We can also delete the cookies manually from the browser, and that is should be handled by application correctly. We have to also confirm that application reads the correct values from the cookies. We have to also verify that cookies are updated correctly whenever any changes are made. For example, if user has changed the preferences, those should be changed and updated in the cookies information as well. We have to ensure cookies with sensitive information have the secure flag set. They should be only sent via HTTPS protocol. We have to also confirm that if session cookies are there, they are deleted after the browser is closed. If persistent cookies are there, they should remain after the browser is closed and they should be reopened. Also, we have to verify that cookies are accessible only within the specified path on the website. If there are third-party cookies, we have to verify that third-party cookies are created and they are used as expected. For example, any analytics purpose or advertisement purpose. We should check the behavior of the application whenever third-party cookies are blocked by the browser. So some browsers block the third-party cookies. So we have to verify the behavior in such situation as well. If the website is having remember me functionality, then we should verify that it is working correctly for any login forms, etc. Cookies are normally used for confirming the user preferences. For example, language, theme, etc. are remembered using cookies. We can also test the cookie behavior across different browsers like Chrome, Firefox, Safari, Edge to ensure the consistency. That behavior should be same for the same cookie across the browsers. Log into application and we should verify a session cookie is created. If there are session cookies, we should verify after login that session cookie is created. We can also check closing and reopening the browser to check if the session persists based on the cookie type, whether it's a session cookie or it's a persistent cookie. We can also check if it's an e-commerce website, then adding items to the shopping cart, closing the browser and reopening it, verifying that all the items are still in the cart if persistent cookies are used. And changing a user setting, for example, dark mode switching, and ensuring that preferences are remembered on the next visit. So all these are all various scenarios around cookies testing. So we should remember these various scenarios while testing out the cookies related functional testing. Now the next part, that is session. So we have seen the cookies. So cookies are basically files which are stored at the client level, that is on the browser level. It is stored in the browser for specific websites. It is on the client level. session is basically on the server side. Session is handled on the server side. Let's take a simple example. When we go to the banking website and log in with our account, after login to our net banking website, we can perform different actions like clicking on different menus, transferring the money, etc. But let's say you log in into the banking website and do not perform the activity for certain time interval. Just keep it as an idle. Don't perform any clicks, don't perform any activities on that website after login. So after a certain amount of time, you will observe, after certain minutes, you will see if you again refresh the page or if you again try to click on some options, it will throw you server session expired error. It will show you session has expired and it will not allow you to select any navigation. It will basically simply make you log out from that session. It will again ask you for login. Now why it happened? Because it is for security purpose. So session maintenance is basically for security purpose. It is handled at server level. So whenever you perform login, the session has created at the server level for that specific user. So whenever you are active on the website, you are actively performing the actions on the website, that session will keep extend. That session will remain active. So that session is basically nothing but one timestamp, one time period which is created for that specific user login. And that will remain active unless you are performing some actions in that specific time period. If you don't perform any actions or if you stay inactive, then after certain time which is configured, after that certain inactivity time, that session will expire. It will show you session expired message and it will ask you for relogin. So this is basically a session. This is basically a session management. It is mainly used for security purpose. On banking website, we frequently see such session expiry. And session is created at server side. So whenever we are active and we are navigating after the login on that specific website, it will remain active. But as soon as after a certain X amount of time of inactivity, it will expire. It will ask the user to log in again. So this session ensures that you don't have to re-enter your login credentials on each page. So whenever you are active, you don't have to again and again use the login credentials. Once you are in the active session, you can navigate to all the pages without any re-login. But this session will expire after a certain period of inactivity, or it can also end whenever a user closes the browser or whenever the user explicitly log out from that website. After that, that session will be expired and re-login will be required after the session expiry. What are the important points to remember while session related testing? Session creation. So we should verify that a session is created whenever user logs in. So as soon as user logs in, the session should be created for that user, and that will have some unique session ID is generated for each session. Session storage. Ensure that session data is correctly stored on the server side. So session data will be stored on server side. It can be a memory or it can be a database as well. It should expire after a certain time period. So that time period will be configured, and after that inactivity after that certain time period, that session ID should be validated. It should be expired. That will come under the session expiration and timeout. So we should check that session expire after a certain set period of inactivity and it should require a relogin. Or if the user clicks on logout, then also session should expire. Session termination. Verify the logging out terminates the session and it will invalidate session ID. It should invalidate that session ID. Sessions can be manually terminated by an administrator or server-side process as well. And we should always verify the behavior after session expiry as well. So let's say we should verify the behavior when a user logs into multiple devices or browsers. We should also check how the application handles multiple sessions for the same user. So same user can log in to net banking website on the browser as well as inside the mobile application as well. And let's say if he logs out from one of the session, then what is the expected behavior, whether he should be logged in another session or it should not be logged into another session. All these things we should verify while the testing. This is called as a multiple session handling. So these are all the session testing related points. So let's revise one more time. So we have seen what is session. Session is basically created at server side for a security purpose. So whenever the user logs in, a new session is created on the server side. After certain time interval, that session will get invalidated. So after certain time interval of inactivity of user on that website, that session will be expired and user will have to again re-log in to create a new session. And while testing, we have to verify session creation, session storage, validation of session, expiration of session, and session termination. Also, multiple sessions testing on different devices. So that's about the sessions. We have also seen about the cookies as well. So what are the cookies? Cookies are basically a small piece of data which is stored on the browser. And what is the use of cookies? Customizing advertisements, remembering login username and passwords, recognizing devices, tracking website and other internet activity, streamlining the online shopping experience for user. For such purpose, we have to use cookies. Three type of cookies we have seen: persistent cookies, third-party cookies, and session cookies. We have also seen what are the points we should ensure while testing out the cookies. So that's all about cookies and session management. Thank you for watching this video.